measures targeted at undermining the security and unity of the country. This development has created a platform for public discussions. Former national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Adams Oshiomhole, in this forum wants Nigerians, particularly the elder statesmen, to have faith in the unity of the country and collectively resist calls for separation and change in government.
I think that even in a moment of distress, and regardless of what anybody thinks, the world is resolved, and Nigeria is part of it, that never again shall we be governed by an unelected government. Never. We don't want unelected angels. I'm not also happy with those who think of dismembering Nigeria. Let everybody go his way, and Nigeria is not a reality and so on. That diversity should be an asset.
Similarly, the Forum of Buhari support groups at a media briefing said there is nothing to worry about the security situation in view of the ongoing efforts to addressing them.
The Buhari-led administration has done so much in putting infrastructure in place in transport sector and road construction. Equally, massive agricultural revolution is going on with rice and other foodstuffs that Nigeria has not only become self-sufficient, but also exporting to our neighboring countries to increase the foreign exchange.
They insist that the people must remain in the forefront of security from their localities.
Today on Political Update, we will explore the concept of rural development and mobilization in the face of recurring incidents of insecurity across the land. How can we focus more on the rural communities and give them a sense of belonging in the Nigerian project? Honorable Chinedu Nwaso joins us now from Awka North, Awka South Federal Constituency of Anambra State. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
We're hoping to also have Honorable Yusuf Gadi of Pangshin, Kanam and Kanke Federal Constituency, and also the chairman of Fonakai local government area of Gombe State, that's Honorable Adamu Acheodu, in the course of the program. But if not, we'll start with this conversation. You saw at the beginning of the program, we're talking, security. And if every other thing, is emanating from the fact that we've had some challenges of insecurity. But there's the school of thought that says that a lot of what we're seeing now is perhaps, years of neglect of the rural communities over time, so that the festering of the wound was not quickly noticed. Are you of this take?
Yeah, I so much believe in the last statement you made that it has been a neglect with time of the basic things that not only that we should do, but that has been embedded in the Constitution. You see, when people talk of constitutional amendment as a way, I always say that, look, even the one that is in our hands, how far have we gone in implementing the stipulations of that constitution? A lot of things that is happening today is as a result of neglecting some portions that are basic in the leadership. I heard Adams Oshiomhole just made a comment now. He said that never again shall we be governed by people who are not properly elected. Now, how many people have been properly elected in the present-day local government system in Nigeria? And he's part of the government. You see, we should not be playing lip service. We should not be playing lip service. He was a governor before. And for how long during his tenure has he implemented the full stipulations in the Constitution, Section 7, which is the basics of the fundamentals of bringing...
Are you saying the state governors in general?
Yes, in general. I'm not pinpointing him, but that has been the flouting of that section of the Constitution. Properly electing the chairman and councillors of local government system, whose function has been properly embedded in the first schedule of the Constitution, stipulating everything that is concerning the local government, including this common man that pushes wheelbarrow. The Constitution even mentioned wheelbarrow. So you see that this is where it starts. If we neglect the grassroots, if we don't do things right, thinking that all those things could be covered, then these long years of neglect is what we are seeing today, where everybody is rushing to the central government, to Abuja. If you have security issues, you see people coming to National Assembly to demonstrate. Meanwhile, there are laws that if it had been followed properly, the common man will be involved in what is happening around his surroundings. It's good that the governor that spoke now is talking about chieftaincy issues, which has brought to the rundown of securities within that setting. You see? So when the communities, when the local government system is properly employed into the 3 tiers of government that we have, the Constitution has taken care of that. You see that the basics. Why should the government post DSS to local governments? So that when the hunter that goes out in the night sees things that is happening inside the bushes, he will come back to bring a report to his councillor. The councillor will take it down to the local government where it will be discussed, and the DSS will be supplied with such information, and they will report to their who will start implementing security measures to curb those incidents before it escalates to small cells of what we are seeing today. And that is the thing. So when the information line is not properly managed as a result of defaulting in implementing the constitutions, the present constitution, you see that law will break. There will be break of law. And that's the problem.
So how do we begin to heal the cracks? How do we begin to, states are trying to at least responding to what, the presidency has said a few months ago about having all those local government elections done. We've seen states trying to do that. But how do we begin to heal the cracks quickly? Because it's becoming a hydra-headed challenge.
Good. You heard the Minister of Information when he was saying that, look, there are things that is not the responsibility of the federal government to do. These are basics where he is taking his line. Nobody is exempting the federal government from doing properly what they are supposed to do. After all, during the campaign, it was the promise they made that the little one that is escalating, we will stop it and end it. Today is spreading everywhere. So that means they have failed in their promise. But saying also that where such things are on board, we talk of constitutional amendments every day. When people are feeling as not being part of what is happening, then nobody cares. The major feeling you are seeing today is, well, if it will spoil, let it spoil. That is the feeling of a typical Nigerian. Because he is not in touch with the line of not only dissemination of economy, but information.
All right, we'll come to, we've talked about the what. We'll still come back to the how fully, but let me take a few stories, then we'll come back. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, says parliamentary diplomacy could be explored to consolidate on relationship amongst African countries. The Speaker made his comments while hosting the President of Sao Tome and Principe, Delphine Santiago.
With a GDP of about $355 million, if I'm correct, and that to me, that's something that we need to tap into, and of course, the strengths of Nigeria, you need to tap into that as well.
Now, women have been charged to scale up their roles and contribute to nation building by being more visible and involved in political leadership and decision-making fora.
I think the narrative in leadership is the focus of NAWUCH Central Working Committee meeting, graced by past presidents to lend their wealth of experience to the current leadership for the benefit of the union and the society at large. Security situation in the country dominated discussions, with a resolve by the women of the pen profession to go the extra mile to dose tension in the country.
NAWUCH believes that it is only when we constructively talk about national questions, that we will be able to find acceptable solutions to our challenges.
Regular campaign and reportage of some detestable social norms and political exclusion that dictates the voice of women in the society, and the need for government to create a conducive environment for media establishment to thrive are some ways of changing the narrative.
Women are now resolved to breaking the traditional glass ceiling that barred them from entering leadership positions, even if they possess requisite skills and talent to occupy them. We will not give up until total equity is achieved.
The commitment of our women journalists to ensuring that their voices are heard as we continue to demand that media must be given the space, the latitude to operate.
Guests say the meeting is timely, coming at a time when advocacy on press freedom is on the increase, noting that democracy can only thrive with a robust media.
All right, we're back and into the studio, and our discussion has been on rural communities development and giving them a sense of belonging in Nigerian project as part of efforts to fight insecurity. We still have Honorable Nwaso here with us. You were talking about the problem. Now, you've made a statement of the problem. How do we go about navigating ourselves from the murky waters?
Fisaya, every typical Nigerian wants to belong not only in curbing the insecurity, but being part of the governance. As provided by the Constitution, we should go back to implementing the autonomy of the local government. The moment these things are in place, a lot of things will go. There are people who are seeking the little contract of 20,000, 50,000, clean the road, do this. Everybody now is eluded from such. Everybody is eyeing Abuja, where you feel that when you come, that is where you get the contract. The moment we have this autonomy from the local setting, and we should stop playing lip service, especially our executive people, the governors, you understand? That's where it starts. The presidency, that's where it starts. This is not issue of talking. It's issue of doing what the Constitution has said. Elect the local government official freely and fairly, and allow the people to govern themselves. The elected official will be hoisted with the responsibility of doing the right thing, talking, saying the right thing, bringing information, bringing relationship between the government and the people.
Because you can go and knock his door, the councillor.
Yes. You can knock the door of the councillor and tell him, in Anambra, for example, in my constituency, we have 19 communities. There is no way those 19 communities can each community or each traditional ruler go to see the governor and be attended to. You understand? Anambra has 177 communities. The governor alone cannot do it. So, but when you have local authority, local government, each community belonging to that local government will be able to assess the chairman of the local government. Tell him his problem. If it is something that can be resolved there and then, it will start working. The chairman, if he summons him, can go to the governor. The governor can now look at 21 chairmen and discuss with them.
For the sake of information, we're trying to get Honorable Ibrahim Adamuche, Chairman for Nakaye Local Government Area of Gombe, but we've still not been able to do that, so that at least we'll have a sense of actually what you're saying. Talking about your state, there's an election later in the year.
Yes.
You know, the general issues of insecurity and all that. Have you made some efforts, especially the political elite, in trying to sensitize the youths? Since we've seen some issues of violence, some issues of even police stations being attacked, to calm down and let's see, processes go without too much friction.
We are talking to our youth. It is the issue of bringing back confidence to the people that look, even if the elections are going to happen. It will be free and fair. They will believe in that system. It is the issue of telling them that, look, it is possible that the common man on the street will feel the government. Is it possible? It is telling them that their lives and properties are secured. The correct information is coming to them, not from every time you see from the, look, there is a gathering of people here, they are coming with guns, so they have been attacked. Nobody will feel secure in such a situation. We are asking. That is why I continue saying, there are most things that when they refer it to the National Assembly or to lawmakers like us, it is something that I cannot call the police to order. It's the executive that will call police to order. It is something that I cannot give a marching order and say, look, go to this forest, there are people there who are doing this or that. It is the executive. So when they can only do this, when they stick to the stipulations of the Constitution.
So from the very smallest tier
of government to the highest level, which is the Abuja issue here now. So it is where we are relying on talking to people. We still talk to them. Let me promise, especially in my constituency, that the election of Anambra State will be as tranquil as it should be. People understand that, and they know that we need a proper organized setting to conduct such an election, and they will listen. Thank you.
All right. We're also trying to reach Honorable Yusuf Gagdi of Pangshin Kanam Kanke Federal Constituency. Will actually try to bring him back, because this conversation can't just end without getting some of the other elements into it. But before we go, let's take our last story. A coalition of farmers, politicians, and artisans under the name of Wari for All has reached out to the vulnerable across the country with food items.
So that we seek the blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so that this issue of insecurity will be resolved. And you can see from the day that we have started sharing this thing, people are praying for this administration and the country at large.
Because we need to change the narratives, and this is part of the what is changing the narratives now. We expect other groups to do the same.
People are smiling now. You can see the party faithfuls are very smiling. Look at this man with bag, very smiling. Look at this man smiling. Look at me too, I'm smiling. So we are happy. We thank Mr. President. We thank the supporters of Mr. President.
All right, that's been Political Update for today. We will continue our conversations on local government autonomy and all the sundry issues surrounding insecurity, like we started a crucial meeting, the third held in 2 weeks, went down today, of course, at the Villa, and is in response to renewed attacks in parts of the country by insurgents, bandits, and other criminal elements. We're hoping that there will be lasting solution to this, and also so that perhaps what we have been saying, a lot of money being expended even on having this, so that the society can come back on an even keel. Many thanks to Honorable was of Oka North and South Federal Constituency for coming, and also I guess we're expecting the course of the program, hoping that they will join us on Friday when we continue the conversation. My name is Fisayo Gunfu, thanking you for staying tuned and urging you to play your politics for the greater good, and also continue on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority, where we bring you the best of news, reviews, previews, and interviews. Bye-bye now.